I have talked about personal mistakes and wins that I have had in regards to moving with young children in the past. Today, we're going to be talking about some other tips and tricks that may help with different kinds of moves. Most of our moves have been short, like maybe across town, but we have a small town. So this video is going to be a little bit shorter than normal, so hopefully it'll be an extra video and not the only video I get out this week. I've been kind of in the trenches and in survival mode, and my next video should explain why, the one that hopefully comes out at the end of this week. So hope you enjoy. Hi, I'm Ellie. I'm a mom of two and under, and we've done 5 moves while we've been married, 3 of which were with children. So this is something that I have been thinking about a lot for how we could make any moves easier in the future. Caveat, next time we move, it will probably be a lot longer distance than just within our town. So I've been thinking about these things, but it will probably be a few years before we even have to deal with it. So let's dive right on in. The very first thing I'm going to mention, we have done half of it before, and we might do the other half of it at some point as well. So it would be asking for help or hiring help. So we've asked for help before from some of our friends and family, mostly friends, because we don't have family here. For the most part, our family is further away right now, several hours. But we've had friends babysit for us. We've had friends help us move heavy things, some of our furniture and stuff. Is definitely something that you could definitely do in future moves for you, maybe in this move that you're planning, because if you found this video, you're probably looking for better ways to move. So asking for help and hiring help are probably some of the top things you could do. Hiring help would be more for like packing things, moving into the moving truck, out of the moving truck, cleaners to clean everything, all of that. So the next thing you can do will be helpful in your packing phase. You can either do it while you're packing and it would help during unpacking, or you can just do it. And that would be decluttering as much as you possibly can. With this last move that we did, I definitely decluttered a little bit, but not nearly enough. We definitely had a lot of junk and we got rid of a lot of stuff when we were moving in as well, which is another option. You can definitely do that, but why would you move more stuff than you need to? It just depends. Since we were doing a short move, it made a little bit more sense, but if you're doing a longer move, you never want to have to move too much stuff because you're paying per square foot usually in the moving truck and things like that. So just be careful. My next tip is for all of our moms out there who don't like doing dishes or want to pack the dishes up and all of that. That would be using paper plates and plastic utensils just for a little while to reduce your dishes and to be able to pack things sooner. It just makes things easier for you and your family in the long run is if you don't worry about it. Again, thinking about this, healthy meals, who heard of those when you're trying to move? Just do something, anything that's easy. And if that's takeout, that's fine. Just make sure to budget it in your family budget. You just need to make sure that people are fed, whether it's you or your spouse or your kids. They just need to be fed. They need to have energy and the ability to go through the day without being hungry. And if you're doing that, you're succeeding. I don't care if it's a healthy meal. And I mean, I personally don't care if it's a healthy meal ever, as long as the kids are fed. But some people are a little bit more particular and that's okay. But if it's going to put more stress on you, it's one thing you can definitely let go. These next 2 are both particularly for kids. 1, check out books from the public library that talk about moving. And that can be a really great way to start the conversation of moving and things and get the kids used to the idea of moving. Another thing for maybe a little bit younger kids that don't really care so much but need a distraction, you could have them decorate the boxes. It's definitely something that could be fun and enjoyable for the kids to do. So next time you're moving, try that out. So far, these are every move type tips, whether you are long distance or short distance moving, and we will get into some that are more particular for long distance ones. First, comment some of the things that have helped you when you've been moving, or if these tips have been helpful, go ahead and leave a like. It will really help others be able to find these tips too. Now let's dive into some long distance move tips. The first thing I will mention is if you're flying to your next destination, ship some of your favorite stuff ahead of time. So the kids' favorite stuff especially, maybe some special stuffed animals or things like that. If you're not planning on taking them on the plane, then maybe ship them ahead of time so that they are there when you arrive, especially if you're having to wait for a moving truck to get the rest of your stuff to you. And speaking of flying, make sure you travel prepared. And that could mean trying to keep the kids closest to their normal schedule as possible. Sometimes it's just packing enough food. Sometimes it's packing enough entertainment. This wasn't a moving story, but my family it wasn't quite a cross-country road trip, but it was a 3-day road trip. This was my parents and my sisters and I. So we went from California to Illinois. I was like, what is the I name? Illinois. I was probably about 7, almost 8, because I think my sister I was 6, almost 7, because my sister turned 4. My youngest sister turned 4 while we were there. We had lots of different kinds of entertainment, and that was very helpful. We had lots of snacks. We had planned stops that my parents had done. My mom is really good at planning that kind of stuff, and so she made sure that we had different fun things to be doing and stretching our legs and walking around and making sure that we were the least bored we could be, since it was a 3-day road trip one way and 3 days back. And it was a 2-week trip, I think, so it was a week there. All right, if it's a shorter trip, make sure to just pack an overnight bag just in case something happens with the necessities, whether that is hygiene stuff, any clothing that you might need, or anything like that. Just make sure that things are as easy as possible for you and your children, and an overnight bag is a great way to do that. Even for short moves, an overnight bag can be a good idea if you're not planning on having everything there when the kids are ready to go to bed specifically. I think I might have mentioned this a little bit before, but talk about the new place and hype it up. Moving is hard, and it's either an adventure or it's the worst thing ever for kids. It depends on their age and their situation at the time and things like that. So trying to make it more of an adventure would be a good idea, and that would be, hyping it up, making it exciting for them. And another way, or one way you can do that, is having something to look forward to in the new location. Maybe that's an activity that they want to do. Maybe it's a hike. Maybe it's, something that your children like doing. And it might be that different children want different things, and you'll have to figure out the best way to do that. But make sure you don't overload your schedule right when you first get there, because that will just stress everybody out, you included. And it's best to just allow yourself time to settle in and not just have everything going crazy all the time. But also make sure you're not bored. So you have to strike a balance, and everyone's balance is different. If you're new here, welcome. Please subscribe to the channel. We are a motherhood and parenting channel with a focus on uplifting one another and building a community. If this video in particular was helpful to you, you might like this one, where I talk about some things that we did right and also some things that we did wrong in our last move with toddlers. So I'll see you there.